Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a driving comparison between the Ram TRX and the Ford Raptor R to see which of these crazy supercharged V8 off-road trucks drives the best. And this is going to be coming from someone who has owned a Gen 3 Raptor for a year and a half. I owned a Ram TRX for 2 years, and so I'd say I'm a connoisseur of off-road Baja pickup trucks. But anyways, before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Sam for giving me some time with his TRX, and then to Southtown Imports for giving me some time with this Raptor R. I'll include a link to Southtown Imports website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And by the way, this Raptor R is available for sale, so if you're interested, definitely reach out to them. And then on a side note, if you want to save time, money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. We are starting off in the TRX because obviously this is the first one that was created in the segment. Obviously the Raptor was the first, V8 truck with the Gen 1 Raptor, or I should say V8 Baja truck. But in terms of supercharged V8 Baja trucks from, the automaker itself, the Ram TRX was the first. Obviously you had like Roush and did Shelby do it? I can't remember if Shelby did a supercharged Gen 1 Raptor, but I know that you had a Roush Gen 1 Raptor. But outside of that, right, this was the first from just like one automaker. Now with the TRX, the things that I really like about this, first off, the comfort. So Ram has essentially taken the Ram 1500 Limited, like the interior and all of the comfort you have from that truck, and they've thrown it into the TRX here. And so you get all of that in this truck. Gotta love the supercharger whine. And that's the thing that I feel like is a huge hallmark of the Ram TRX, is you just get so much supercharger whine with it. You do get quite a bit out of the exhaust too, but yeah, the supercharger, it's definitely, a big part of this truck. Now when it comes to ride quality, that's another thing that the Ram TRX is really good with. It is so incredibly comfortable. Again, those Bilstein shocks, they're adjustable, so you can change the drive modes to change how the shocks perform. But yeah, just on smooth pavement like this with 35s and the adjustable shocks, just like a cloud down the road, right? And then when you go over bumps and everything, it's not like you don't feel them, but like compared to a regular car, it soaks them up so much better. It's absolutely incredible. And the cool thing about big tires like this is you can air them down if you want it to be even more comfortable. Now, just like daily driving, you might think that you don't need 700 horsepower, and that's true, but the thing that's nice is like, I can just barely get in the throttle and the truck just moves. I don't have to go like, mid-throttle or anything to catch up to traffic. It's like, oh, it's slowed down and have to speed back up. You just keep going with everything. So I think that part of it's also really fun. Now we're gonna pop it into, this is one thing I don't like about the TRX is the drive mode select thing. Kind of takes a second to get some of the different drive modes. We'll pop it into the sport mode. I do like that little graphic there though. That's pretty neat. I guess we got traction control off, but don't worry, we've got a 4-wheel drive. Yeah, just listen to this. Just so much supercharger whine. And again, it definitely adds to the excitement of the Ram TRX. Now it is a big heavy truck, so it does handle like a big heavy truck. Yeah, that's fun. Let's get our little acceleration here. Gotta love road debris and the TRX's acceleration. I will say though, the one thing that's nice about a big pickup truck like this is when you have like tires and stuff that are just sitting there on the interstate, you don't really feel like too worried about running them over because you got 35s and you got tons of ground clearance, so it's no big deal. Now quick, you want to do manual mode because I want to do a transmission comparison. I love the new gauge cluster thing. That's cool. Shows you where you shifted. That's fun. That's really fun. It's such a monstrous powertrain. But to sum things up here with the Ram TRX, I think super comfortable. Like from a daily driver perspective, the seats are really comfortable. It's got a lot of nice features like the rear view camera mirror. And anyways, what I was saying is I just think that Ram did an amazing job with this truck. Everything, you take it into account. The sound, the acceleration, and as someone who owned one of these for like 2 years, this thing does so well off-road, and it's neck and neck with the Raptor when it comes to off-roading. And it makes sense when you look at the travel numbers, the tire size, all that kind of stuff. It makes sense why they're so close. And I guess we'll cap things off with, of course, one more acceleration before we pop into the Raptor R and decide which one's better. Oh, gotta love that acceleration feel. It's just, you get so much torque out of this 6.2 V8. It's crazy. So Ford Raptor R back to back with the TRX, and I can tell you right off the bat, much different feel with the trucks. The TRX definitely has a bigger, heavier feel compared to the Raptor R. This does feel kind of like lighter. The steering feels a little bit more direct with it as well. So it's kind of, it feels a little bit more precise. It doesn't sound as good though. Apparently, word on the street is that TFL was saying the Raptor R sounds better than the TRX, and I'm gonna say that's not true at all. This, I'm still adjusting stuff. This just doesn't, it just doesn't have the same sound. Like, there's no supercharger whine, which takes away from, I feel like, part of the excitement. And I mean, it's a nice rumble. Let's pop it into Baja mode. Maybe that'll change my mind. It's just not the same. Like, the TRX is aggressive in your face. That's why they call it a Hellcat, right? But this, it's not a bad engine at all. It just doesn't have the same fun sound. But I will say the torque and everything, just like the TRX, it's so good. I mean, like, I'm at 1400 RPMs and I can just cruise. Now, with having larger tires and shocks that adjust a little bit quicker, I would say that the ride quality is a little bit better on the Raptor R. So it's a little bit more compliant. It's not like a night and day difference, but it does feel perceivably more comfortable than the TRX. And that's what I felt when I took my Gen 3 EcoBoost off-road when I compared it with my TRX. I feel like the Gen 3 soaked things up a little bit better compared to the TRX. And you feel that with this Raptor R as well, even though it technically has slightly stiffer front springs compared to a regular Raptor, like 5% stiffer to be exact. But anyways, even though we're low on fuel, who cares about that? Let's pop it into sport mode. I mean, don't get me wrong though, this does sound like it's a V8, so it still sounds cool. Oh, it does 4x4. So I guess the acceleration will be pretty even because they're both in 4-wheel auto because the TRX is always 4-wheel auto, but this is 4-wheel auto in sport mode, so it can put down the power better. Yeah, I mean, going around this, it's still a big, heavy truck, but again, it just feels like a little bit lighter, a little bit more spry, I suppose. We're gonna get our acceleration here at the Raptor R. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel faster. Like, it punches hard, and I will say that gear shifts in this, I think, are like more aggressive than the TRX in a sense, kind of. Let's pop in the manual mode and see how. It has so many more gears than the TRX, so I feel like I have to downshift way more often. I mean, it's still crazy for a pickup truck. It's so fun. So this is kind of funny. I prefer the paddles in the Raptor R here, but I like the gearing in the TRX a little bit better. Like it's not the gearing, but the ratio. Because this, I feel like I'm constantly having to shift, whereas the TRX, it's an 8-speed, and I don't feel like I have to shift as often. So it's less of a chore to use the paddles. It's kind of an interesting difference between both of them. But yeah, to kind of sum things up here with the trucks, the Raptor R, it's definitely more focused on the sports side. I mean, you feel it with the handling, the seats as well, right? The TRX has that luxury interior, more comfortable, nicer materials. And again, you know, I mentioned this in the walk around, like the Raptor just doesn't have the same nice fit and finish. Like the door, you pull the handle to pull it in and it kind of creaks a little bit. right? You don't get that in the TRX. The build quality seems to be a lot better in the Ram TRX. And again, I'm saying this as someone who owns a I've owned 2 Ford Raptors, right? I love the trucks, but you know, Ford definitely, I feel like, should improve their build quality a little bit. But I guess to answer the big question, Raptor R or Ram TRX? You know, it's a tough one. I said this, you know, from the start, and I think I still agree with this point. Here's the deal. Supercharged V8 trucks are the coolest thing ever. I'm so glad that Ford and Ram decided to build these trucks. Like, it's awesome that we live in a world where we can buy these. But with that being said, the Raptor R, I don't think it's worth twice as much as the Ram TRX. Again, those are the market values on the Raptor R. And even when you compare it MSRP to MSRP, when it comes to like your daily driving experience, which most people are gonna mall crawl these, most people are never gonna take these trucks off-road, the TRX sounds better and it drives just as well as the Raptor R. The Raptor R feels a little bit lighter, feels a little bit more precise. It doesn't feel any faster with the acceleration. The transmission, I maybe like this one a little bit more, but I still love the TRX transmission too. So like, I don't see any benefit with the Raptor R over the Ram TRX. They're pretty much dead even when it comes to just like overall fun factor. The TRX sounds better, so it's just back and forth. And so all the Ford fanboys saying that the Raptor R is the greatest thing ever and it would destroy any TRX, that's just not reality. The reality is the Ram TRX is readily available, and so, you know, Ram in a sense has democratized V8 supercharged Baja trucks, whereas the Raptor R is a super, you know, limited edition, rich dude V8 powered pickup truck. You buy this less because it's better than a TRX and more because you want to be the dude on the block with the Raptor R because nobody else has a Raptor R. I think that's the best way to look at it. So let me know if you'd pick Raptor R, TRX, but I'd have to say after driving them back to back, they're pretty much dead even.